Well, this is Adam Tandy, the producer, for the thick of it, and I'm joined by...
Simon Blackwell, one of the writers.
Chris Addison, one of the actors.
Joanna Scanlan, other actor.
Armando Iannucci, the director.
And we're gonna have a look at some pictures.
Barely did a thing on that.
We're going to have a look at some photographs that were taken by Dominic Tyler for Esquire magazine.
Oh, right.
And he came in to join us on...
Are they of naked women?
Yeah. Are we in underwear?
And sort of posh watches.
Anyway, so cast your minds back, if you will, to the 4th of February 2005.
Yeah, see it says there.
Yeah, look. So look, this is you.
Me there, and Chris like
James in the back.
But
this was your changing area. We all...
the neck. It was a big game that we had.
But it shows how primitive the facilities were on that first series.
The
newspaper over the windows in the dressing rooms.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good old days.
And this was filmed in... This is in the same building that we filmed everything in. So this is just round the corner from what is the Ministry.
In fact, one or two scenes took place in here, didn't they? We redressed the...
yes.
I think the
newspaper
office where Angela Heaney.
Yeah.
But obviously we did point towards the dressing rooms for that.
That's true, yeah.
This is the makeup department.
Judith.
That's Judith, yeah.
I've got rollers in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jane almost not awake there in the...
She looks like she's crying in a quite theatrical fashion.
Well, it's because she's got to make up Chris.
I always missed
Who's
out
next
on
in the chair by the look of it.
She fitted my arms every morning.
The special prosthetic arms.
Yeah.
You were in that chair for, 6 hours before we started shooting every day?
But they worked incredibly well. Nobody actually noticed.
I used to miss out on all the pre-chat because those rollers took so long.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you were in from 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, getting the roller.
Being rolled up.
I see.
Look,
Yes.
there you are.
And that's,
Yes.
No,
Is
that's,
this after the roll? Is this what the rollers do?
Well,
no, I think that's Janine
This
taking
was
a continuity photograph.
There was a
isn't it?
photo just after you had that accident where you stuck your thumb in your ear.
You know what
Janine's
I'm
not
doing?
taking
I'm
it
showing
so
her my wedding ring is what I'm doing.
Do you know when you wiggle your
showing her
hand
my
there,
wedding ring.
your eyes just flicker?
Because your character is very happily married and goes back to her husband every evening.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We actually saw him in
We've
one
seen
scene
him.
that got cut
He's
out.
our lovely Spark, our young, handsome Spark.
Is your husband?
Yeah,
No,
he is my husband.
right.
Yeah.
Now look, that's
Oh,
Jamie
Jamie
Kearney in the
Kearney.
back of the shot. You don't normally get to see a picture of him.
Director of photography. That's me just going, look, no, what you do is, this is a script, see? You just say that.
It looks like a paperback novel,
Stop
though.
making things up.
Part building.
Yeah.
Chris was only in for one line. Do you remember? He just...
That's right, and he just kept
Went
talking.
on around,
Just kept talking, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
Oh, yes,
The
look.
Yes,
rollers
this is-
fitted underneath. The sub-rollers.
This is your very good friend Luke, isn't it?
Is this your husband? No, this is
Spark.
Chris, isn't it?
No, we'll see. Might get a shot of him.
Jamie Kearney watching very carefully there, and
He's
costume
thinking
making.
lighting. All the time he's thinking lighting, filters.
What will the other cameramen think of the way that I'm shaking this about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a man who excretes clapperboards.
He's very useful, isn't he?
Clapperboard Jack.
I think they wear lovely T-shirts, all those boys.
Do you have time to
really-
think about things like that?
I do, and in fact, me and Jamie used to have a lot of conversations
Oh,
about
really?
it. Yeah, how fabulous their T-shirts were, the camera.
I seem to remember this was the day I complained that there were always old newspapers on the set. So I said, go out and buy some new papers. And we put them on the set. And of course, all the actors sat down and read them.
Just read them.
whenever
The
whenever
crossword.
there was no shooting. Yeah. But it's all right, because that was the last time we bought any new papers. For the second series and the special, we didn't buy any new papers.
We still
No, I
use
know. In the
use
special,
those papers.
there's an old-fashioned independent.
Large broadsheet
in the
independent.
special.
fact
Not wanting to sound like someone who's watching somebody's holiday snaps. How many of these photos?
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Here is our
nearly
lovely
nearly done.
Directing and thinking.
Yeah, all the time thinking.
Because you
They're
crossed the line, didn't
I've
you?
crossed
You
the line.
crossed that line. And behind is Roz, costume.
Costume
Janine,
designer.
costume.
Yeah,
And
Jane.
Jane, makeup.
That's
So,
right.
and then in this room, there are just you lot with these two cameramen, just sort of isolated, having a shouting match.
Being shouted at.
Doing
There you
that,
go.
basically.
A lot of
Yeah,
shouting going
wonderful.
on.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it in
That's one of
action.
those
Yeah.
cameramen we were talking about.
Do you know the number of times I've had to paint him out of a shot?
Really?
Yeah, because Ben is quite bad at framing Jamie out of the shot. I think it's a respect thing.
Have you ever?
The director's right.
That's you just having offered up one of those bon mots. Do it a little bit more hairy.
Yeah. God, is that how I run? I sort of mince along.
Yeah, it is a bit of a mince, isn't
What are
it?
you saying?
The thing is,
there,
you actually
Adam?
go
You're
sideways.
shouting something in there.
Like
Yeah.
a crab, yeah.
That's me going stand by.
Ignore anything that Armando
Yeah.
just said.
Of course, you were first assistant director on the first
three.
series.
I
Yeah.
decided that no one could first assist the show other than
Best, yeah.
myself.
And that was true. You did it brilliantly.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very
Brilliant.
much.
Not brilliantly
I got
enough to
I
continue
got
doing
bored
it.
with it after 3 episodes and decided to hand over to someone else.
Oh,
That's a nice
oh
enjoyment.
that's very nice.
Should
That
get that
should
for
have
your
been your
passport.
Christmas card.
Yeah.
Should me picking a piece of banana out my teeth?
Oh, and a
There is
smile
the
from
evil-
Malcolm Tucker.
Yeah.
The evil
that lurks.
He doesn't mean
Yes.
happy.
That's,
He's just lulling Chris
It
into
is
a
funny.
false sense of security.
I recently had to go through some of the rushes for this again, and in the scenes between Hugh and Malcolm, it's interesting how often a moment of like tense fury is then stopped by one of them giggling.
planning your holidays there, Jay.
Ollie's,
Oh, yeah. No, we were playing a game, weren't we, Chris? Do you remember?
What's this?
Trying to name all the capitals in Africa.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
the
a
kind of
it was a
exciting on-set thing
Would you
that
like to
happens during
recreate
the
that for us now?
Yeah,
Now that's what we look like that's what the cameras don't see.
No, this is the lobby, isn't it? This is the
Yeah, Guinness lobby.
The good old days when it was the Department of Social Affairs,
Yes.
not just and
Those
You can
citizenship.
see the design department at the back of the shop there on the right. It's prop buyer Laura,
oh yeah.
she's
art
got
director
yeah,
Laura
probably.
Martina,
yeah.
who painted some of the pictures on the
Yep.
set.
That's right.
Yes.
That's some of our own work.
It was Martin Sixsmith who said that Alistair Campbell had his niece's drawings up on his.
Oh, yes,
So she went
yes.
off and got her kids to draw these.
That's right, and they're stuck up, and you can see them in the
see
back
them
of
in the background of
Malcolm's
Malcolm, yeah.
set.
Yeah.
And Simon, who's busy trying to design something on his work.
There you are, Simon. Though.
Yeah, it's been
Someone
surprised by a
not
bit of something there.
concentrating.
No.
That thing slipped through.
Not not
He's-
That's a nice
that's
picture.
good.
Now
I haven't
that's
seen
all
this.
you trying to decide
Yeah.
which bags.
Which
Don't
bag- no,
carry the bag
no.
that James has got there.
The
dispatch
box.
box, the old-fashioned dispatch box. If you carried 2 of them with their metal handles, they would give you they'd freeze your fingers.
Yeah.
You get a dead hand.
Really?
It's why the country's in the messages
Absolutely.
today, actually.
Yeah.
And they don't
Frozen
stand up
fingered ministers.
when you put them on the ground.
That's,
Moody
Peter
lighting.
bollocking Armando.
Yeah.
Because you just can't get out of the habit.
You see, that's an example of those two.
Yeah, it's just giggling.
Serious followed by just turning into little just giggling girlies.
There were a couple of occasions where we were clearly having too much fun.
Mm-hmm.
weren't there, I think.
That must be stamped upon.
Yeah. Well, look at the
that's
two of you.
Now this must
My
be
goodness
this
me.
looks like a mid-afternoon script conference.
It was. That was just about to go upstairs and rewrite the next
Looks like a
day's
day out for the
pages,
special
I
kids.
think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like you were thinking of a mo.
I'm
the
thinking of a
juice.
mo, not a Bond one.
Any
Just
more
a
would
mo.
do. The storm.
Tea was often served out there in the courtyard as well.
Yeah, in the rain.
Yeah.
days.
And the dark and the cold.
It is the most dangerous and difficult job in the world.
Couldn't do your job, I couldn't do it.
No.
What do you do?
How do you remember the
electrical
lines? You don't
cable.
have to.
The morning shave.
Yeah, the morning shave. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a weird thing happened because we were upstairs in this open plan office that was being slowly, all the bits were being slowly denuded. All of the equipment was generally being sold to Chris Langham actually.
Yes, you did. You
To
went
buy an
around
awful
buying-
lot of office equipment.
Filing cabinets and things. Yeah.
He had an extension going. He was looking at. There was one draft excluder or something, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Some air conditioning.
An air
thing,
conditioning unit. And he
Yeah.
went, what happens when when you're over, when the production's over? What's happening to this? Well, I don't know. We're selling it off. I'll give you 50 quid for it.
Turn up in a van on the last day. But because it was this open plan office, we somehow by default ended up with a desk each, didn't we? Like we were a proper office.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
did.
He
We had our
clocks in
own
at the beginning of the
desk.
day.
Unbelievable. Peter would bring his own coffee because
Yeah.
he wasn't happy with the machine coffee in the office.
That's right.
What are you doing there? Just
Oh,
what are you
being
doing?
mic'd up.
Writing.
No, I'm,
Writing
I'm-
last
Scribbling.
minute script
Just
changes.
generally.
Mowing.
The Observer
Beef.
column's being done.
Bon
Yeah.
mowing.
Yeah. Very often there are pictures of observer columns being written on the slide.
I always have a banana.
The emergency banana.
Imagine
Enormous banana.
11 o'clock banana.
Blimey.
That's
Oh, that's
far more
quite
active
moody.
than ours.
Yes. Yeah.
The furniture's moving, but the people are standing still.
It's you and me trying to work out where all the people are supposed to be at this point.
Yeah.
That's the grid, isn't it? Behind.
They're meant to know every day what item of news they should be announcing or what policies they should be announcing. So that
the art department had gone so far as to put things on there
Yes, I think it said things like state opening and
over and over again.
over and over again.
I love it
And
when
then
they
you're-
transform that room into something sumptuous.
That's nice. There's Del.
Yeah,
That's nice.
that's our standby props guy. He's
Yeah.
sticking something onto the screen of a.
Making a computer look like it works.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
couldn't afford real working
No.
computers.
No, more banana.
Emergency
You've got
banana.
goes
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's a security bananas.
Yeah, comfort banana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of my jobs. One of my few jobs on the set was to just change it every few days after it got a bit spotty.
Got
Because he'd
Banana
just
wrangler.
fondle it
a
and
bit
it would go a
squishy
bit
after
squishy.
day two. Got a
Yeah.
bit black and squishy.
Yeah.